Good morning, everyone. So, welcome back in your class 7. This is science class, and students, today we are going to start chapter 2, nutrition in animals. In previous chapter, we have learned that green plants can prepare their own food by the process of photosynthesis. Unlike plants, animals cannot prepare their own food. They depend on plants for their food directly or indirectly. And we know that all organisms, including humans, require food for growth, for repairing damaged part of their body, and for obtaining energy to carry out life process. So students, now we'll study about the nutrition in animals. So what is the meaning of nutrition? Nutrition meaning is same as we have done in the nutrition in plants. So animal nutrition is a process of taking food by an organism and its digestion, absorption and utilization in the body. So nutrition is important. Because of nutrition process, animal get the energy to carry out the main function of the uh, life process. So students, in this chapter now we'll start nutrition in animals. So students, now we are starting our chapter 2, that is nutrition in animals. So according to your textbook, animal nutrition includes nutrient requirement, mode of intake of food and its utilization in the body. And you have studied in class 6 that food consists of many components like carbohydrate, protein, vitamins, fats, minerals and water. So the component of food such as carbohydrates are complex substances, and these complex substances cannot be utilized as such. So they are broken down into simpler substances, and the breakdown of complex we can say components of food into simpler substances is called digestion. So we can say that breakdown of complex component like carbohydrate into simpler substances is called digestion. And students, here I want to clear you that in the process of digestion, or we can say in the process of nutrition, different steps are there, and there are five main steps in the process of nutrition in animals. These are ingestion, digestion, absorption, assimilation and egestion. So these are the main five steps that are involving in the nutrition in animals. Now I want to clear you these five steps in detail. So students, first we will start with the first step, that is ingestion. So what is the meaning of ingestion? The process by which the food is intaken inside the body of an organism is called ingestion. So we can say in the simple language, the mode of taking food into the body is known as ingestion. And when we put food into our mouth with hands, we are ingesting the food. And different animals ingest food in different ways and have a special organs for this purpose, as given in the next topic, that is 2.1 topic. What 2.1 topic is different ways of taking food, that is given in your chapter. So the mode of taking food into the body varies in different organism. For example, bees and hummingbird suck the nectar of the plants. Infants of human and many other animals feed on mother's milk, and snakes and like python swallow the animals they prey upon. So some aquatic animals filter tiny food particle floating nearby and feed upon them. So students, we can say that different organisms are having different way of taking food, and the way of taking food into the body is known as ingestion. So the process by which the food is taken inside the body of an organism is called ingestion. And here is given one activity 2.1 that you have to fill by yourself. That means name of animal is given. You have to write down the kind of food and mode of feeding. Suppose snail is taking the we can say leaves or insect. So the mode of feeding is scraping. Then ant is having a food particles by chewing. Then eagle, small animals, and we can say capturing. And then hummingbird, hummingbird, as we have already studied that nectar of flower by sucking. Then lice depend on the blood, and the process of we can say mode of feeding is same, sucking. Then mosquitoes also sucking the blood. Then butterfly, nectar of flower, and mode of feeding is, we can say, symphoning. Then housefly is depend on the decaying matter, and the mode of feeding is sponging. So this is the different mode of feeding and different kind of food that is having by the different type of animal. So we are discussing here the main process. The first step in the nutrition is ingestion, and meaning of ingestion is the, we can say, the process by which the food is taken inside the body of an organism is called ingestion. So now the next process, we can say the next step in the process of nutrition in animal is digestion. What is the meaning of digestion? As we have studied now, that the process of breakdown of complex insoluble food substances like carbohydrate into simple soluble food substances with the help of digestive juices prepared by the body is called digestion. So we know that the food of most animal consists of complex insoluble substances which cannot be absorbed by the animal's body in this form. So there is a need to break down this complex we can say substance into simpler substance. So what is digestion? The process of breakdown of complex insoluble food substances into simple soluble food substances with the help of digestive juices prepared by the body is called digestion. So the next process is absorption. After digestion, absorption is there. What is absorption? The process in which simple soluble digested food substances are absorbed into the blood is called absorption. So after digestion, the soluble digested food is absorbed by the blood. Now after absorption, next step is assimilation. So the simple soluble absorbed food substances are transported to the different parts of the body where they are utilized for energy, growth and repair. So this process is called assimilation. Assimilation means transportation of soluble absorbed food substance to the different parts of the body where they are utilized for the energy. So this process is called assimilation. And after assimilation, next step is egestion. What is the meaning of egestion? A part of the food which we eat remains undigested and unabsorbed, which cannot be utilized by the body. So the process in which undigested food is removed from the body is called egestion. So students, these are the 5 main steps we can say that are including in the process of nutrition in animals. So students, now we are going to start with the digestion in human. So students, now we are starting our another topic, that is digestion in humans. So we take in food through the mouth and digest and utilize it, and the unused part of the food are expelled from the body, and this food that we are taking through the mouth pass through a long muscular canal that is known as alimentary canal or digestive tract. So which begins at the buccal cavity and ends at the anus. So students, alimentary canal is known as a digestive tract and it is started from the buccal cavity. So the food passes through a continuous canal which begins at the buccal cavity and ends at the anus, and the canal can be divided into various compartments. These compartments are the buccal cavity, food pipe or esophagus, stomach, small intestine, large intestine, and ending in the rectum and anus. So these are the different parts, or we can say compartment of the digestive canal or digestive tract or alimentary canal. Alimentary canal is the main part of the digestive system and it includes some glands also. Glands means salivary glands, liver or pancreas. So we can say that digestive system in human is consist of digestive tract or alimentary canal and some associated glands. These are salivary glands, liver, and pancreas that secrete digestive juices, and the digestive juices convert the complex substance of food into simpler ones. So the digestive tract and associated glands together constitute the digestive system. Now let us now know what happens to the food in different parts of the digestive tract. So as we know that digestive tract is started with the buccal cavity. So from the mouth the food goes into the buccal cavity or oral cavity, and the buccal cavity contain teeth, tongue and salivary glands. So let us study in the detail about each of them. So first of all, I want to give you an introduction about milk teeth and permanent teeth. So students, the first set of the teeth grows during infancy and they fall off at the age of 6 to 8 years. These are termed milk teeth, or we can say temporary teeth, because these type of teeth replaced by the permanent teeth. So the second set that replace them are permanent teeth, and the permanent teeth may last throughout life, or we can say fall off during old age or due to some dental disease. So students, now we'll start with the buccal cavity, because we know that digestion process is started from the mouth only. So mouth and buccal cavity, food is taken into the body through the mouth, and the process of taking food into the body is called ingestion. So we chew the food with the teeth and break it down mechanically into small pieces, and each tooth is rooted in a separate socket in the gum, and our teeth vary in appearance and perform different function also. So accordingly they are given different name. So now we'll study about the different type of teeth also, that is given in the figure 2.3. The arrangement of teeth and different types of teeth are given. So students, teeth, we know that our teeth are of different shape and carry out different function also. So based on their structure and function, teeth are of four types. First, incisor. As you can see in the figure also, the first set is of incisor, and incisor are known as cutting teeth. These are four flat and blade like teeth present in the front part of each jaw, and these teeth are used to bite and cut the food into small pieces. The next one is canine, tearing teeth. These are present on the either side of the incisor, and these are two in number in each jaw, and these are sharp and pointed teeth which help in tearing the food. Then premolars, or we can say grinding teeth. These are two premolar. There are two premolar next to each canine, or we can say four in number in each jaw, and these have broad and flat grinding surface, and they grind food and break it into small pieces. Then next, after premolars, you can see molars, or we can say grinding teeth. So the remaining teeth in the jaw are three molars on either side of premolars. There are six in number in each jaw, and these teeth also have broad and flat grinding surfaces. They are larger than premolars, and these teeth are also used to crush and grind the food. So students, now you know the function also and the structure of the different type of teeth. So we are having four kind of teeth. We can say incisor, canines, premolars and molars,